Hey, this is Mary, and it's high five number 2 for today. But I don't know if it's going to take 5 minutes or more or what. But we were recording today, and so I didn't get to watch 700 Club um, news. I like to watch 700 Club news, and so I didn't get to watch it. So when I got home, I laid down and turned on a recording from the DVR. Well, actually, on our Roku, you can get the CBN Family Channel, and you can watch 700 Club. And so, but what excited me, my Bible study people will know that this excited me. Uh, I've been, when Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, when he came into view, I don't remember when he really started coming into view, but Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, watch him. Watch him. And so I've been watching him. So I don't know what I'm watching for, but I'm watching him. Well, the 700 Club today talked about phase 2 of the oil crisis. Now, my Bible study people will remember that Tuesday when I did the online Bible study, I talked about the 2 black swans that Bill Koenig from Watch.org has been talking about since March 13th. He wrote about it, and he said that let's see. Well, I'm going to talk about what Pat Robertson had to say, because Bill Koenig had so much information. But what he was saying way back then, you see, he was saying that there was 2 black swans. And a black swan is an event that is so unexpected and has drastic results, disastrous results. And he said 2 black swans happened at once. He said one was COVID-19 and the other one was the oil crisis. And we see that really happening this week. In fact, we saw that really happening on the Day of Infamy in America. So I'm really excited to see what Bill Koenig has to say about it tomorrow on his Friday briefing. So he was caught, but he said that the analysts have called the oil crisis a bigger threat than COVID-19. COVID-19 doesn't even compare at all to it. So what he's saying, Pat Robertson today, when you go into 700 Club, and it just comes up right away. In 5 minutes and 40 seconds into 700 Club, he starts talking about phase 2 of the oil crisis. And the Saudis are serious about breaking nations' economy and taking over the world. Now, remember, the Lord told me to watch Mohammed bin Salman. He's only 34 years old. He's in the prime of his life. But he's a handsome man. He really stands out in a crowd. But the Lord said, watch him. There's something major that's going to be happening with him. Right now, they're targeting Nicaragua to collapse. They will collapse the entire economy with this oil crisis. And Pat Robertson said it's going to be like Nicaragua was never on the map. They're going to wipe them totally off the map. The Saudis are trying to wipe out the United States domestic oil market for good. Right now, they are buying gas stations, gas companies right now, and they're buying refineries and stuff in the United States. The Saudis have a lot of money. And so this is one thing you can target your prayers about. Right now, he said there's 20 super tankers with 40 million barrels of oil coming into our refineries. And right now, we have no place to put it. And the analysts call this a Pearl Harbor event. It's going to be that devastating. They want Trump to put a $40 barrel bill to the Saudis for each one of these. I don't know how that's going to work out. But he said it looks like America's era of energy independence may be coming to a close. Now, what happened back in March is they had, and this was March 16th. Let's see. March. He said, at 10:16 a.m. on a wet and dreary Friday morning, Russia's energy minister walked into OPEC's headquarters in central Vienna, knowing his boss was ready to turn a global oil market upside down. And so this has been, the article is amazing. And, Bill Koenig does a great job. One thing they're trying to do, it's a war between the Saudis and the Russians. And how important it is to the Russians, they are trying to undercut Russian production. And Russia can only drill in the cold of the winter. And if you remember Iraq, do you remember Iraq when the oil fields were on fire? It's because it costs too much to shut down, so it's cheaper for them to burn the oil sites than to shut them down. It's very expensive to shut them down. Right now in the Permian Basin in northern Texas and in North Dakota, they're shutting down. It's going to be very expensive. They're laying off workers. But let's go back to Russia. Russia can only drill in a very, very cold winter in Siberia. And if they have to shut down, they will not be able to restart for 12 to 15 years. It is that important. This is a war. This is a war. And so the phase two is devastating. So just another thing to pray about. Watch Saudi Arabia. My Bible study knows that we've been watching him for, I can't remember when the Lord told me to. I'd have to go back in my journals and see when the Lord told me to watch Mohammed bin Salman. So that's part 2, and have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. God bless.